So, hello, and hello YouTube. It's me, and I will make a video on 100 subs special. So, uh, point of this video is to exercise my ability to speak. Uh, Basically, this is somewhere I have been stuck for years, so to say. In my inner monologue, I think a lot of people in the world could relate to this, where somebody tries to override, or basically society, collective unconsciousness tries to uh, rewire your train of thought, because you kind of, or I at least, I'm just sharing my anecdote, I have not been able to speak up for myself. Although I have done certain self-reflection over these 10 years, uh, you know, not officially going to a therapist, no, not really, but more in the, whatever self-development tools I could find. Therefore, this is my, how to say, reflection, the content of reflection I'm about to share. So let's begin. So, I want to share my experience uh, about variety of topics, covering what I call invisible infrastructure, and why I chose the things that I chose in my life. Uh, and First of all, I had a choice because life was, I don't know, gracious enough uh, to provide me circumstances where I could choose my own path to some extent. So yeah, I deliberately decided that I will learn how to play guitar. And basically, I have been playing for 10 years, but like, so to say, semi-professionally, I have been playing for about 5 to 6, and basically my practice routine looks like that uh, one time a week minimum, maybe two sometimes, I will go to a rehearsal space and play 3 to 4 hours of guitar uh, for the sake of recording or rehearsing some written material. And that means usually rhythm guitar, like 95% of the time. So this is a valid model, and I have not really lost the skills that I had. Of course, I will share about some workarounds and so on, but uh, so what does it mean? If your practice is deliberate, uh, and if your playing time is pretty short, that does not mean that you will forget how to play. There was a video regarding the two types of, two elements into your muscle memory, or like your whatever, neuroplasticity, or basically the things that keep you playing the instrument. There are two elements responsible for it. One is the neural pathways you build, learning something for the first time, and the second is the like the you know uh, tonus, or ability to, or strength, by keeping your muscles sharp, so to say, or whatever, or uh, ability to, or strength to, like, consistently, like, do something or some technique or whatever. So first of all, uh, my intent is to relate to some people, uh, either inspired or walking on the same path, uh, to share my honest testimony, no bullshit testimony at all, what it actually takes. And I mean, not to just succeed. I don't know how success looks like even in my life, and I don't have like any material success from the endeavor that I'm doing. I'm just doing it because I want to make the music I want to hear, and basically it has a lot of side effects, and I want to talk about the invisible infrastructure and the side effects of it. Of your simple life decision of you devoting time to arranging your music on the computer, for example, for a day per week or something, and without really missing, having a regularity of practicing in your, not where you live, in your practice space somewhere, playing your instrument for 3 to 4 hours, sometimes more, sometimes less, So, uh, first of all, why to play music? Why not to make, choices somebody else makes? Well, this is a pretty difficult question. Uh, you know, uh, I think we have to understand that a lot of people are actually wired. Different people are wired differently, and I hold this belief that life is somewhat individual, or for a great extent, actually. So, and with doing this, uh, you have a chance to deepen your relationship with the way you experience music, or reality itself, so to say, one aspect of reality, which is sound, and your feelings towards the sound. And you will find a lot about yourself. You will have worries, responsibility of like being married to that practice, regular practice, uh, commitment to bigger projects, seeing how your creativity evolves over time, your problem solving ability, and your worries about like or being exhausted by the very creative thing, you having the creative burden, or deadlines, or uh, not making the best choices, or sounding bad most of the time, or uh, all of these things, and forming correct like connections, and having disagreements over creative disagreements with people, and posting it somewhere, dealing with no audience, or dealing with negative backlash and stuff. And all of this is experience, and this is a very large module of interacting with this desire. uh, Another reason why is to see yourself from going from a point where you don't know anything about the thing, you have only desire, also facing challenges, of course. And from this point of not knowing, going into the point where you start to understand something, you have realized some projects, seeing what success looks like, having the emptiness of the fulfilled desire sometimes, also if you finished like an album or something, uh, you know and a lot of those things. uh, this is an interesting phenomenon, and again, something, but this is applicable to every other aspect in life. But I think in music it's a bit more pronounced thing, because it's really hard to understand for most people what the fuck are you even doing with your life, and so on. So this is kind of good authenticity training, so to say, yeah. So what else? Of course, critical character development, which includes all the previous things I talked about. And yeah, fear of being misunderstood by people in your regular life, to be lost in the translation, having been rejected by sheer one different choice that you made in your life over them, like you will be ousted from some people's lives, either because you are not involved, because you're choosing, you're being married with music practice, or because I don't know, their unrealized desires, or their suffering, or something that they just don't like about you. Anyway, you will have this even without this, but I think it's better to suffer over something that you feel is worth it, rather than just suffering, even though you will have to endure both anyway in life. So uh, and of course, most importantly, why to do it is to exhaust some kind of desire that you have it, and just looking that, okay, maybe that's not it, maybe there's something else to life, I did something, and Another thing is that proving yourself that your self-talk is not so lucid or so gross, like it's not so dense, that it's an element maybe that you have to like deal with in your cognition, but you actually have proof that you have done something, uh, that is not very intuitive. That was pretty hard, think took a long time to do, and you actually start liking the end result, and actually it was a lot of work, and uh, to prove yourself that no, wait, I actually tried. First of all, I tried to do something, it maybe failed, that's fine, but I tried. And that is like a part of critical character development, of course. So, uh, more about the invisible infrastructure. So, of course, maintaining work-life balance, because you are going to have a full-time job, whether you do anything, and a lot of people, a lot of bands, especially now, even big bands like Periphery or whatever, they, you know, have some kind of business, and only then they are a band, for example, or many people who do this for fun, like me, just to make what they want. uh, they obviously are going to do something else, even if they are doing the music related stuff like teaching guitar or some other instrument, whatever they're playing, selling courses or whatever, or different things. Still, they have a little bit of advantage because they're practicing music daily, but still, to make something that you want to hear, you will have a high standard of yourself, so it will take quite enough, it will be quite a big involvement to make something that you like, because you will hold yourself to a big standard. Yeah, so and it always be like you will not really clearly know what to do, and until you do it something with regularity until it happens, just trial and error method. So yeah, and of course, why did returning to the question, why did I want to do music and continue to do music, is because uh, I just wanted to make a simple, very simple, easy to understand life choice, which is to do something consistently for a great period of time, no matter what somebody says or doesn't say, or, whatever happens, I will still try to do it. For example, I will lose my rehearsal space or lose ability to play guitar, even though I have invested like 10 years into it, and I'm still practicing, and for any reason, uh, I will still be able to, make electronic music, which I will have a different view on it than somebody else maybe, and I will make it microtonal or whatever. I will explore some different temperaments, like moments of symmetry, just intonation, scales, and various other, Zen harmonic temperaments or whatever. Even if I will not have a practice space, but I will still exercise and make some interesting music that, uh, only maybe I can make, and I'll be happy uh, with my experience to do. So, uh, and it's just a simple desire, very easy to understand, and somebody, it will trigger certain people, and I think those of you who already do that are in this field. Some people will just automatically resent you because you made this choice different than them for any reason. Maybe they may be jealous. They may be, I don't know, just miserable, like and they will just project that on you, or they will have a bad day or something, or you will not fit some kind of standard, like conservative standard, that you're this years old, you should already have this or that, like a spouse, family, whatever, but you don't, and that's the fact. uh, you know but so many people in our society are like that, not having, for example, children or whatever, but this is the fact even they cannot accept, and It has nothing much to do with you, actually, Other than that, you just need to have distance from them, even if you're in close proximity. Just I will talk about meditation and stuff like that later, but uh, you know, you have to fight for your own inner space. Otherwise, if you just say yes to everybody, in my opinion, then your life is already set that you're definitely not gonna do something which you enjoy. Or maybe you'll learn to enjoy it, but I don't see that in people's faces. Yeah, so you will probably suffer anyway, you know, but you have a choice. Will you suffer for something that you want to uh, desire or project or live, you know, or you will suffer just the basic survival anyway. You will do that, and I may, maybe when I'm 60, if I have a choice of like being child free or whatever, I will be in the Riga center and I will be begging you, the watcher, yeah. But because the pension system doesn't look very good right now, and it's not gonna be, in 30 years, because demographic, results are terrible, and we are in the late stage capitalism, and other reasons. So many people try to establish support systems and make, have spouses and family just for this reason, to like not die alone, or have some kind of setup, like in countries like China, for example, where is this the strategy? You have to you make children to get them the best education, and they will reward you with money, so that you can retire somewhat honorably. So unless some innovation will happen, the AI or some kind of infrastructure that will make life easier for all of us, that will be our reality, such as mine, and unless but I see the tendency for the rich to stay and become more richer. So who knows? You know, I don't know. You don't know, but it can happen to me. It can happen to you. It can happen to anybody. So this is life. Uh, yeah. So you'll probably suffer anyway. Yeah, and part of the invisible infrastructure is, even before the mastery, the skill, the practice routine, or whatever, you have to have some kind of practice space, practice time, some kind of base support from the society, either family where you live with. Everybody is okay that you are playing your instrument there, or somewhere else where you can do that, because otherwise you just can't make this decision that I am going to practice. You can't. Where are you going to practice? There was a moment in my life, like almost 5 years ago, more than 5 years ago actually, where I played before rehearsal space when I had a neighbor problem and I lived in the other city. I played for a few months in my car. I bought a new laptop, I had a battery, and I just went next to the, countryside where they had a home, like my relatives, and I just played my guitar there. Yeah, that's a fact. Whether it's good or bad or whatever, but I persisted and I'm still playing. So, you know, uh, that's just a hint that it takes something. And then you can have your teachers and practice routines, even though you don't really need, you just need time and place, and then you can pretty much reverse engineer or learn any system, concept, theory, your own way at looking at the fretboard or whatever style, certain specificities of your instrument, the applications of a harmonic series, and your whatever expressions, and like dynamics, and whatnot, everything. But of course, with a teacher, with a good teacher, and a very supportive space, you can learn something that took me 10 years into 2 or 3. Really, that can happen, but you will just play every day, you know if your joints and fingers will allow you that, of course. So uh, yeah. uh, So yeah, the decision of me uh, fucking around and finding out is the base strategy, uh, for my vision. And you know, but at least I have some desire to project, and I'm projecting that and seeing the results of it. Um, and my biggest problem regarding the uh, my musicianship and in the stage of life where I'm in general is the enmity problem. That means that somebody, from your region, your life, where you reside, will have a enmity towards you just for who you are, uh, and that might be very hard to deal with, either because somebody is miserable and they will just project want to look for enemies, and project some kind of resentment, life negativity, want to prove that you are worthless, all of these things. And that has actually taken a lot of my energy for the past 6 years. I have I have changed my apartment for like 3 times or 4 times maybe. Even when I lived with my mother, I had the same issue, especially when I played guitar in my apartment. I think every creative person will know this because they are vulnerable and they emit the certain vibe, which makes them an easy target. And because you are taking maybe bigger projects and you have a vision that you would like to defend and protect and so on, you will be the bigger person, but you don't have a valid strategy, therefore you will probably suffer. And this is where spirituality, like meditation and things like that, has really helped me out. This is various types of things, and I'll probably practice them forever, because these things have enabled the making and uh, revitalizing of this desire from day-to-day life. When you even don't feel well physically, like you have some health issue because of this chronic stress or something, fight or flight, constant, or whatever, and you feel like somebody is really trying to control you or something like that. uh, One place to rest and to really get off it is has been meditation for me. And I have been doing this for prolonged periods of time, usually for like half an hour, but I have also set to 5 hours and stuff. And also, not only those, journaling, like writing out trauma, reliving these moments, uh, also understanding my emotions, projecting, like understanding, not but re-experiencing certain fears, even some kind of like Kriya yoga, even like yoga, basic Upa yoga, things like that, which like works for your health and general self-improvement. But mostly it's spirituality. It's more like to what has helped me is to reframe my life completely. The more I live, maybe the less I believe that I'm like a human body with a human mind and that life is random and whatever. And actually I can say that I'm Hindu for like 10 years, because those, in my opinion, timeless principles, which are very old, uh, they are just being rehearsed and like recombined, permutated, and those teachings really have helped up from the manifestation of the few desires that you have, that you remind yourself that you want, saying, understanding that the words that uh, I am that I'm the words I speak, and changing the words I use for myself, and having that clarity to understand where I am at in life currently, and maybe that the purpose of life is something greater than just, living and doing things and acquiring, cars, houses, people, and so on. And yeah, I really do believe that, I'm far more than maybe this body and mind, and that's up to me. Of course, anybody who says that may land in a psych ward or whatever if they say that too arrogantly or whatever. But uh, you know, uh, that's what I believe. Uh, that suits me, and I will practice what feels good, what produces results, and what helps me to deal with these situations. And if some school of thought can transform this suffering or self-hatred that I experience, then I will gladly take this, because then what is the alternative, And this has been a really big uh, helper to deal with, the situations that life throws at me. So yeah, and you know, enmity is just a symptom from the invisible shackles, and we have this pre-notion of the American dream, that everybody is chasing the American dream, which means that you know I should have a house somewhere, in a nice place. I should have like a family with like at least two children, like two car neighborhood, success in the professional field, a lot of people like me, maybe I'm very popular, or I make money with my ability to do something or whatever. But actually, practically most people, I think, in my opinion, never experience that. For example, somebody who is right now sitting and is homeless on the street of Riga, somewhere or somewhere else, who chased this American dream and failed, and they don't have, either they have very abusive relationship, or they have children that doesn't want to talk with them, or they have like, or God forbid their children died or something before even them, or or they have some other problem, health problem, which doesn't allow them to live, or any so many problems that could be there, or problems at work. They cannot find their space, it just destroys them, can't make enough money to survive in the big city, and so I think most of the people actually don't live their American dream, but they are being judged to live the American dream, that they should aspire, they should be like, the herd, so to say, or whatever. So yeah, so anyway, you are going to suffer from some projection. So, and I think we don't have good enough education that covers these self-emotional reflection topics. Therefore, uh, it's something to think about when you are choosing your path in life. You're just carving something which doesn't have a road yet, and you may get lost, you may fail, and so what? But society doesn't reward you for trying, I guess. And yeah, even funny story. I was driving. I haven't driven in like 2 years. I don't have a car anymore. But yesterday I had driving lessons, and I was pretty bad, missed critical points, whatever, you know. And the instructor looked like me like I was out of my mind. How you have a driving license? How are you so bad? But this is the reality of many people, because again, it's the same American dream type thing, where not everybody who is gonna pass their driving test, they're not gonna drive for years, for example, or they're gonna take pauses. In my case, I live next to work and I wanted to save money so I could buy apartment, for example, or have like additional expenses in music. But just because I don't have a car, somebody will do a gossip on whatever, and the wheel will start. And yeah, why are you not this or whatever? So rejection follows, and all the good things we know. So yeah, what else I wanted to talk about? Yeah, an example of, so another thing about the in my case musicianship thing, you are going to learn a lot of things that I cannot really explain to you because you have to live them. And I can give you an example, which is that an opposite example actually, based on the invisible shackles. For example, I have somebody in work in my region or social group. They see that I don't have children, for example. And or a spouse, and then they will ask me, uh, why do you have a spouse? Why don't you have a spouse? And I will tell them whatever I'll tell them. And after 3 months, do you have a spouse? You don't you have a spouse? And then after 6 months, do you have a spouse? You don't have a spouse. And what I mean is that you try, one thing is to put idea on paper, but when it's actually lived, you will understand how it feels, how the extreme lows feel, how the extreme highs feel, and what are the subtle insights you're gonna get about your life. And that's a good way to learn something more about yourself. And anyway you're gonna go through this. uh, yeah. So another thing is that the general suffering about in society. Of course, I wish all of them. My intent is that they all are happy, but actually, happy people and old happy people uh, who are really confident about their life choices and path. Uh, I have seen only few that are really happy. They can be happy by themselves, in that moment where they are located. Not because something happened. I think it's pretty rare. And I think I would like to be such a person, even though somebody will throw filth, at me. I think it's my responsibility as an adult to, you know, transform this, because I think the root problem is in me. That I believe somewhere that I'm not yet convinced that what somebody is saying that is negative, that that I don't need it. Somewhere I think that I still believe that I am worthless or whatever. So it is my job to keep self-reflecting, and uh, we'll see if it works. Maybe I'll be utterly miserable. Who knows? But that's whatever. That's life. Who? How do I know? I'm just a random creative idiot on YouTube. So yeah. So about the invisible shackles, there will also be. I have this. Uh, like last few years, I feel this pressure the strongest, which is to fit in, and make those choices to enjoy the approval of somebody. The most people, some beautiful people, or people near to you. Pressure to fit in. You know to have what they have, even though maybe you can't have that. You don't make enough money, or you're not attractive enough, or you're maybe not so wired to have for example, the beautiful person that you aspire to be with, or whatever. Or it's practically it's true, or you cannot sustain the facade to attract somebody. And I totally understand you, and I can relate to you. And that is, of course, I don't believe in the ideas that somebody has it worse than you, even though people laugh about people who and entertain themselves about somebody who is doing worse than somebody else. That is constantly going on, by the way. And all the gossips usually, that you hear. And somebody's laughing at somebody else because they fell, they got sick, or they got fired. Yeah, this is the where we are. So I will not be surprised when it happens to me or you. uh, yeah. So, and addition to that is I can lose everything. I can lose my rehearsal space, I can lose my health, I can lose my apartment, I can lose my job, I can lose my whatever savings, you know. It can happen to everybody, you know. And I have witnessed many examples of that where my like my childhood friends parents have terrible health problems, you know, and who knows when it's gonna be your last day on this planet. So I think many people, especially those who gossip the most or whatever, they kind of forgot that they are going to die someday. I really, if they don't, they believe they will never die. I think I just, yeah, at least you know, I don't want to be such a person. um, yeah, so yeah, well, I want to end, and that maybe this will have real life consequences, this video or whatever, but this is how I honestly feel, and I'm very puzzled that you know, all I'm trying to do is just exercise my human right and constitutional freedom. Like, we don't really have a constitution. It's different. It's just a word from American like constitution, but your freedom is to, like, non-violently pursue your own desires, whatever they can be, you know, and to share them. And also your UN or UNESCO, or I don't know how this institution is called, but you also have a basic rights as a human. Have you heard the basic right human like violations in, like, you know, Syria or whatever, now even like Russia and things like that, you know. But you do have those rights, no matter how somebody, how they hate you, what they project, saying that you're not gonna succeed, that you can't do anything, you don't do anything, you know, all of this. You have those rights. So fight for your inner space, fight. You don't have to punch anybody, you know. I'm not saying that. At least I will live by this standard. You, I think, just have to focus on your life. Of course, this is not a medical or whatever uh, life advice or whatever. This is just my anecdotal. This is what I would say to myself. Uh, like, if I came for advice like 5 years before, you know, when I didn't have somebody to tell me something like this. Because I don't know what my success looks like, you know. It could be nothing, it could be something tremendous, you know, like name and fame, money or whatever. But even if I won't have, okay, even if I have cessation of desire that I will never want to touch a musical instrument, that is fantastic. Then I have nothing more to do in this life, you know, essentially. Then one of the major desires why I feel I'm here is gone, you know. Could be, I don't know. Not claiming that I know shit that I don't actually know, but I just have a like notion of that, you know. And you know, you're free to laugh at whatever I'm saying, think I'm like crazy, stupid, whatever. But I would like to invite you to understand why you're laughing. I have an example. For example, you know, people usually, for example, he's stupid, you know, or he's weird. I like these two, stupid and weird, you know. You're calling somebody a name so you don't have to analyze anything about him. So, do you see the problem? You know, what does it mean weird? What does it mean stupid? Are you saying that you don't like this person? Or they're making some kind of choices or that you don't like? Are you envious of them? Are you, I don't know, jealous of them? Are you afraid of them? You know? Or you don't like that they are doing something you think they shouldn't be doing? Or it's a mirror for you that you are missing something that you have, you know, suppressed in your life? Uh, so the moment you ask this question, you can't anymore call a person stupid or weird or whatever. That's the thing, because you are starting to think. But it's just like opening the door in an empty room. The darkness disappears. Just takes 0.001 second. For that. Yeah. So I was stuck in my inner monologue for a long time, but I guess I'm more passionate about speaking, and I'll probably start collecting my thoughts and speak more. Maybe do some microtonal music lectures, uh, as I don't think I can really, uh, play that much music in my apartment, as it may have real life consequences, as even though I have heard talks that why I'm not playing in here and whatever. But if I was playing here, you would wish that I never played. Probably, that's my answer usually. So, because I have been there before. So this is my 100 subscriber special. So have a nice day, and you know we'll see you or will not see you. Yeah. Probably your opinion about me has changed, but I am willing to take the burden of being a more of a public person and a role model. And, you know, anyway, somebody will dislike me for who I am, and that's already happening. And that's, by the way, I'm taking the examples on me, but I think this applies to anybody. I'm not above speaking as I'm above anybody, because I am very much diseased with some of these things that are gossip and whatever. But I think it's time to be more responsible, And yeah, that's all.